Next, we have Mr. Aaditya Thackeray, the young leader who's especially popular with Gen Z. He's a former Maharashtra minister known to consistently speak of issues about Mumbai, stands for environment and sustainability. And since we just bid goodbye to the monsoon, it is crucial to note that he has played a major role in addressing Mumbai's flooding issues. Mr. Thackeray, the son of the former Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, will be in conversation with Vinaya Deshpande. I invite you on stage, sir.
Aditya Thackeray, welcome to the Hindus Maiden Poll Conclave. This is the poll arena, which is our election effort to bring our viewers and our readers up to speed with what's picture Maharashtra like. And let me begin the discussion with our topic today.
Sure, you can bring anyone up to speed with Maharashtra politics.
Well, the effort is with respect to all the confusion and mess that's going on.
If I am a newbie, what would your brief to me be about Maharashtra politics?
Stay away and read the Hindu.
I think that's just the opposite. Get into it and clean it up.
That's for you, and that's why you're here, because the viewers and the readers want to know from the people who matter in this political battle at a time when it is so messy and so confusing about how this election is going to look like. At a time when, after 2019, this is the first time when the Shiv Sena is factioned, fighting its own faction. The two big regional forces that Maharashtra was known for in terms of political arena, the Shiv Sena and the NCP, are fighting against each other for the first time for the state elections. You're seeing that even with respect to the alliances which have been formed, they are strange bedfellows, whichever way you look at them from both the sides. How do you see the current political situation in Maharashtra as someone who has been a former minister and as someone who was made to step down in the middle of the term because of the political turn of events?
I think you used a very interesting word, bedfellows, strange bedfellows, right? I think what is with the BJP is a bedbug. And that is precisely what it is today. Because see, I mean, the lines are very clearly drawn. I don't think there's any confusion anymore. There's no chaos anymore, especially after the candidates who had to withdraw have withdrawn. The lines are drawn between two sides. One is the Maha Vikas Aghadi, which is the Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray, NCP Sharad Chandra Pawar, and then you have the Congress with all our allies and political parties aligned with us. We have been voicing Maharashtra, fighting for the future. And of course, we're dealing with issue-based politics. If you look at the first 2.5 years of our government, we were, of course, hit by COVID in the first 3 or 4 months. But while tackling COVID, which was also praised across the world, the WHO praised the Dharavi model, the Maharashtra model, we did not stop with investments coming into Maharashtra. You could see a growth engine that was already on and running for the MVA, pulling in investment of almost 6.5 lakh crores. You had Magnetic Maharashtra being held a couple of times, be it online or offline. And apart from that, I think you look at the farmers as well. Every time there was any calamity, the farmers were helped directly by the government and not in an embarrassing fashion like the BJP does with 25 rupees or 50 rupees checks. We gave whatever was needed and due. Apart from that, law and order was not in a crazy situation as is today. The absolute anarchy you can see wasn't this scenario back then. As against in the past 2.5 years, you see the BJP coming together with Eknath Shinde's broken gang of thieves and the NCP that was broken up. They have really created a mess in terms of the administration in Maharashtra. And if you look at what is happening today, the scenario of Maharashtra is no investments coming in. You have farmers absolutely looking at the government in a very helpless situation. And apart from that, law and order has crumbled. So there are two sides: the Maha Vikas Aghadi, which is speaking for Maharashtra, the Maha Vikas Aghadi, which is speaking for the future of Maharashtra, whereas the BJP and its broken gang of thieves, which is speaking for its own interests, its own selfish greed. That these are the lines drawn, and therefore I feel there will be no confusion or chaos while voting happens.
That's interesting. You say that despite the fact that it looks like there'll be multipolar fights, it looks like people will be confused with respect to parties and candidates because there has been a lot of switching over in the last few days. The fact that you do not see it as a confusing battle is an interesting take.
I do not see it because, see, for the past 2.5 years, wherever we've protested, wherever we've held our campaigns, rallies, protest marches, you see an outpouring from the people, which is beyond political lines, which is beyond the labels of caste, creed, religion, region. You see everyone coming together as Maharashtra. And largely in the past 4 months, despite all the facade that the BJP and its gang of thieves have put up, saying, okay, we're here for the welfare and all that, everyone knows how corrupt this regime is. Firstly, it's an illegal regime. It's unconstitutional. And beyond that, it's corrupt to its very core. You tell me one single project that the BJP or its gang of thieves have brought to Maharashtra in the past 2 years. One single policy that they've brought in the past 2 years without looking at elections, and they can say this is ours. Despite having a government at the center, which till 4 months ago was a majoritarian government with a full majority of more than 303 MPs, they did not bring a single big industrial project or manufacturing project to Maharashtra. There was no job creation. So everyone knows where the BJP and its gang of thieves wants to take Maharashtra to.
I am going to come to the next question, and this is with respect to the political agenda that your party has. We had traveled, I had the opportunity to travel with you during your Lok Sabha campaigning, and I saw the kind of rousing response you got when you spoke about constitution, when there was, the whole narrative about whether constitution will be changed. And in Lok Sabha, that really kind of set the narrative in Maharashtra, at least. For the Vidhan Sabha, what do you think are the narrative setting issues for this?
I don't think it's about narrative setting, because frankly, we are not the people who go about setting narratives. We speak the truth. We speak from our heart. We're not like regular politicians. Especially, can vouch for my father, Uddhav Thackeray. He's never been a regular mainstream politician who's the typical kinds who you think are greedy to stick onto position and things like that. The idea of Maharashtra is being crushed today. When we speak of constitution also, or democracy, if you remember, the first rallies for the constitution were held in this state by the Maha Vikas Aghadi, calling it the Vajramut. Because finally, where the constitution was kept at bay and democracy was tried to be crushed and is almost crushed, is this state. The formation of an illegal government, the handing over the party symbol, the party name, to two people who've broken away from the party without resigning, forming a government with another political party. I think this itself speaks volumes about where we are looking at in terms of our justice, in terms of whether this is constitutional at all, and whether this is democratic at all. I think along with this, what is very, very crucial to realize is, in the past 2 years, the pride of Maharashtra has been crushed. Every big industry is either being forced to move out of Maharashtra, or is being pushed away, or is being attracted to another state, only and only because there is absolute anarchy and political instability in my state. Look at, if you want to set up an industry today, or if you want to get an MIDC plot, or if you want to even do something in Maharashtra that is productive, who do you go to? There's one illegal CM. There are two half CMs. You go to one, the two other are upset. Apart from the two other being upset, their cronies are upset. The way Mumbai is being sold, rather not sold, given free of cost to Adani.
They claim we are bringing projects, particularly infrastructure projects for the development.
Brilliant. Which ones? I'll give you examples. The Samruddhi Mahamarg, Hindu Samrat Balasaab Thackeray Samruddhi Mahamarg, was supposed to be completed in time by 1st of May. Mr. Eknath Shinde delayed it because he did not want Uddhav Balasaab Thackeray to inaugurate it.
We also know about the coastal road.
No, I'll tell you what. Coastal road was fully initiated by us, started by us. Devendra Fadnavis has nothing to do with it.
Groundbreaking ceremony.
Yes, and Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, who now claims credit as Deva Bhahu and whatever, it's only Deva Bhahu, Sagre Milun Khau. It's becoming that in this government, nothing else. But they have nothing to do with the southbound coastal road. It's a BMC project, which the BJP government in the center delayed by 3 years, from 14 to 17. We initiated it in 17. When Mr. Uddhav Thackeray became the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, the first true Mumbaikar to become the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, we gave it speed. We gave it more traction. It was supposed to be completed by December 2023. Under this regime, it's been 2.5 years. It's still not fully complete. It's 2024 end. The northbound coastal road, which was under Mr. Eknath Shinde since 2014, has not even seen a pier cap coming onto its piers. Forget piers. Half of the work has not even started. 26% of the work they claim, but they've spent 26% of the public funds. It's changed contractors twice. The cost has been escalated twice by thousands of crores, but no work happening. The Mumbai-Pune missing link through Lonavala, under Mr. Eknath Shinde since 2014, escalated twice or thrice, but no work has happened. The Worli-Shivdi connector, when our government was toppled, we started that work in 2021. When our government was toppled in 2022, 48% of the work has been complete. Mr. Ajit Pawar gave an update in July about where it stands now. It's 57% complete. So 2 years, it's taken them 9%. The MTHL, which they've branded as Atal Setu, started by us in our time, 82% complete in our time. It's taken them 2.5 years to complete the rest, and they had to inaugurate it after I tweeted 6 times to the Prime Minister saying, "Sir, please come, they're waiting for you, you don't have time." The Pune airport terminal, again, had to be tweeted by me. The Diva station, railway station, 9 months they've kept it pending because they didn't have time for inauguration. So many flyovers, bridges, underpasses in Mumbai and other places where we started the work. It got completed, although delayed under this government. They haven't inaugurated because they don't have VIP time for these inaugurations. This is their priority. Their priority is not projects and infrastructure work. Their priority is taking over our projects, changing the contractors, escalating the cost, and minting money out of it.
So
And
Aditya,
which is why the illegal CM is scared to sit in front of me and have a debate with me.
yes, that's an open challenge that you have
I
thrown
have
for
given
the
him
chief.
multiple times. I mean, there are two scams of MMRD which we brought out. One is a scam where a bank guarantee of 1600 crores has been taken by the MMRDA from a bank in St. Lucia. The bank that has given a guarantee has no RBI approval. The other, they had given 20 days for a tender of 16,000 crores. When I raised it, someone went to court and the MMRDA had to accept it in court and give 60 days. This is the kind of corruption. There's one more big corruption coming, to me in terms of the file. And these are all government people, government officers speaking also, because the kind of loot they have seen in the past 2.5 years under Eknath Shinde, they've never seen before. No government in the history of independent India has been so shameless, corrupt, and dysfunctional.
So Aditya, here it is. For the last several months, and even when you were the minister in Maharashtra government, I remember when it came to Mumbai, you really picked up issues. You talked about them. Even now, we see that there are several issues when it comes to Mumbai infrastructure, Mumbai projects, or overall in terms of city per se. Yours is the first voice that we hear often. You're also looking.
Also for Pune, also for Nashik, also for Nagpur. I've spoken about Ajnivan in Nagpur, and because of our Heritage Tree Act, the Ajnivan has been saved in Nagpur as of now, and they're still fighting a battle. The flash problem in Ramtek is something I had the good fortune of dealing with as a minister, and we could clear 80% of 700 acres of fly ash near Ramtek. Near Koradi,
Yes.
Nandgaon. Then you have Pune, where the riverfront destruction program that is going on. This hall itself, where we are sitting today, is where we had an open presentation and a discussion with the architect and the citizens, and we saw how Pune is being destroyed by this riverfront destruction program. And of
I
course,
remember.
Mumbai, being a Mumbaikar,
Being-
I see things in front of my eyes every single day, and I speak about it.
One of the biggest things that you have consistently been raising is with respect to Dharavi redevelopment project. Now, the several urban planners that we had spoken with when we, decided to do the stories, they said that the original demand with respect to any rehabilitation project, particularly a rehabilitation project of that bigger size, is the in situ rehabilitation. That seems to have not been followed at all. Land parcels which have been given in several parts of the city, outside the city, for the same project. You have said that when you come to power, you are going to scrap that project. But what is the solution to a place like Dharavi, which is Asia's largest slum?
Okay, now you as a voter, and especially as a Mumbaikar, let me tell you what Dharavi is about, what we are opposing and what we are proposing. Dharavi, of course, everyone knows, was at a certain point Asia's largest slum. It is the same Dharavi. During COVID times, we have worked deep inside in every house, and because of which the Dharavi model was praised by the WHO. This is the kind of attachment me and Shri Uddhav Thackeray have to Dharavi. Dharavi, of course, is our neighbor also. It's in our neighborhood. We live probably closest to Dharavi, and we've seen Dharavi very, very closely. So obviously, it is in the good interest of everyone, people who live there, people who live around it, for Dharavi to be redeveloped. You need better housing, you need a better lifestyle, need a better standard of living for Dharavi and the future generations who will live in Dharavi. Now, while this has been happening and there has been a lot of talk around it, our government actually scrapped the earlier tender, which was given to another contractor. Nobody knows what the background was or whatever, and it seemed a little sketchy and shady, so we had to scrap it. There were multiple global competitions held by various urban planners. UDRI has held one. They've created a book on it. Many more urban planning, private and public agencies have planned Dharavi. Now, obviously, everyone, while planning Dharavi, is looking at the population there. There's about 4.5 to 5 lakh people in Dharavi. Apart from that, I think what is very, very important is in those 300 acres of hutments of Dharavi, you also have multiple micro industries in Dharavi. So while we look at redevelopment of Dharavi in a way which is for homes and housing for the people and for the families there, we also need to cater to the micro industries that provide the livelihood to those Dharavikars. Now, 300 acres of micro industries and housing need redevelopment, need space to be redeveloped either as PTC's project transit camps or key to key development where new buildings will come up and these people will be shifted in those buildings. So obviously we were waiting for the railway land and we were waiting for the Tata Power receiving station. Attaching the railway land and the Tata Power receiving station, you create an area of almost 540 acres, which is now the existing Dharavi. We were working on the tender. Had it been our government, the tender would have gone through. Maybe Mr. Adani would have won it. Maybe someone else would have won it. But what is problematic in the tender and what Mr. Adani is doing today is this. First, the tender says that 50% of the TDR that any person, any building needs across Mumbai without indexation will be bought from Mr. Adani. He will choose to give it to you or not give it to you at a rate he decides to. Why should this happen? What will the others do? If he chooses not to give it to you, what will your building do? What will your people do? So why should this come in? Two, the premium that is supposed to go to the BMC, which is almost 5,500 crores, will not be given to the BMC. It will instead go to DRPPL and SRA, which is basically paying to self because he's the lead partner in the DRPPL. So why are you paying to yourself instead of paying to the BMC? 5,500 crores. Because eventually, the BMC is the agency that's going to provide and service the lights, water, electricity, everything. 3, staircase premium exempted, open space premium exempted. If every other builder in the city is expected to pay a staircase premium and open space premium, that generates revenue from a city. And when you're creating so much of construction and sale construction, why do you need to get rid of these premiums? Why are you depriving a city of its due premiums and taxes? Now, this is 540 acres. Above and beyond this, you need to realize that almost 4.5 lakh people stay there today. 2 lakh people, 2 lakh families rather, will be considered as ineligible. So where will be they thrown out? To NDZ areas, which was always non-development zones, to salt pans, to Kurla's mother dairy, to Bhandup, Vikroli and Kanjurmarg area, which is 255 acres. 140 acres is in Mud Island, which is also Koliwada. To all of these islands, to also Mulund. Why would you create 540 plus 540 acres in Mumbai of another 20 Dharavis? And there are 2 more things to be taken into consideration. So 540 acres given free of cost, you create whatever. The other 540 acres is almost 1 lakh crore revenue that he'll be earning from the sale and construction of this 540 acres apart from Dharavi. Why should anyone prosper for free in a city that respects merit and hard work? This is a city that is always built on public-private partnership. This is a city that respects hard work, respects merit. Your surname tags do not really carry as much weightage as your effort. So then why should someone be given 1,080 acres of Mumbai free of cost? If he wants to be
So then what is your vision?
I'll come to that. If he wants to be the richest man in the world, we're happy to support him. Just pay my city's premiums and dues. Now what is important is, our proposal is this. We will scrap this first because we cannot have the premiums exempted. We cannot have the dues of the cities exempted. The city's due has to be given by whoever comes into construction. The 540 acres as Dharavi, we need in situ development for each and every Dharavikar who needs to be eligible for a home, free home in Dharavi. Apart from that, we need to have corporate headquarters. You need to have something like the International Financial Services Center. But while we give homes to the Dharavikars, you also need to provide for the Koliwada that's in Dharavi and also for the livelihood, which is the micro industries. So, and you don't need the other 540 acres. Why should 540 acres plus 540 acres be given free of cost?
So you're saying that when you come to power, you will have an in-situ development plan.
Absolutely. Everyone will be eligible and we do not need the lands in Mulund, Kurla, Ghatkopar, Kanjur and Mud. We just need Dharavi and the development can happen there.
So Dharavi is one of the issues, Aditya. But, when you see Battleground Mumbai, there are several issues. You are fighting from Worli. It was anticipated that it would be an easier fight, but the last time you fought was when the party was together.
I'll tell you honestly, I do not believe that any fight is easy or tough. It is a fight. And whoever comes in the ring, some people have the cushion of a Rajya Sabha seat with them because they're not really, really serious about contesting. It's just like a time pass thing for them. But for us who are dedicated to the service of, the state, we're always here in the fight and we don't come in with a cushion. So I don't think any seat is easy or tough. It's always always battleground, and you've got to treat every fight with that amount of respect.
You're saying fine, not easy or tough, but at the same time you also have to look at the numbers, because that is where everyone will have the benchmark. In 2019, when you were in the electoral fray for the first time, you were voted to power, and you won by a margin of over 68,000. That was also a different scenario when the party was together. In Mumbai, we have seen that your party organization has not really moved. It has pretty much stayed where it was, specifically with respect to your constituency, which is Varli. Now, during the Lok Sabha election, this is the same constituency which gave a lead of a mere 6,500 from a 68,000 margin. And though I know that this is not exactly...
If you compare, I mean, I'm not going into the mathematical analysis of, seats, but if you compare almost all seats across Mumbai, largely, barring a few that have gone into the multiple thousands, largely someone's got a 2,200 lead, someone's got a 1,500 lead, because primarily the BJP, with the election commission or whoever they were sort of ordering, kept Mumbai's election on 20th of May, which is vacation time, holiday time for most of our people. They go to their native villages, they go traveling abroad. So I'm not going to compare one election to another. But having said that, I think the Prime Minister's election also was quite edgy. He was trailing thrice. So, I mean, all leads across the country were edgy this time.
How do you see this?
This is where we have to respect the people and serve the people humbly. That's the biggest learning.
And how do you see this battle now?
I think it's going to be, of course, an election as it is. And I hope the people will look at the past 5 years and also look at the future. Because a lot of, political parties, the chaos that they've made in the past 2.5 years, and, the kind of battles they engage us over in terms of religion, region, caste, also what was great in the past, what was not great in the past. I think no one's fighting for the future. We need to look at the future.
The biggest question that we have on the discussion today is Mumbai Kunachi. Mumbai has always been that city where the Shiv Sena has dominated. We have seen that, the Congress was in the fray against you traditionally. And the BJP or the NCP were not really very strong players. This election, the scenario is different. This election, you have your party, which has been split into two, fighting against each other. You have a BJP which has gained ground. You have Congress as an alliance partner fighting on 11 of the 36 seats. How does one decipher Battle Mumbai?
It's very simple. And again, this is not just Mumbai, this is about Maharashtra. If you vote or support the BJP candidates, if you support the BJP, if you support the BJP's claim to the chief ministerial post, you're supporting, in effect, the destruction, the planned destruction of Maharashtra. Because in the past 10 years of BJP rule at the center and in the state, also especially in the past 2.5 years, everything that the BJP has done to our state in terms of breaking families, breaking parties, breaking people, the absolute political instability, the crumbling of law and order, it was only and only to take Maharashtra into an absolute chaos and darkness. They wanted Gujarat to prosper at the cost of Maharashtra. So if you vote for BJP, you're voting for a stronger Gujarat, which if it grows at its own cost, at its own strength and effort, I'm more than happy to support it, but not at the cost of Maharashtra. And if you vote for the MVA, which is the Mashal, the Tutari and the Hath, you're voting for Maharashtra because you've seen us in the past 5 years consistently, not just speaking for Maharashtra, but also converting the speaking and words into action on ground.
So you see that the change dynamic...
Mumbai will remain with Mumbai and Maharashtra only and only if Maha Vikas Aghadi is voted to power. Just because the BJP cannot break Mumbai officially, just because they cannot win Mumbai politically, they're handing it free of cost to Adani. So then Mumbai's name will change to Adani or Adani City if BJP comes back to power.
Aditya Thackeray, it's interesting you would say that, because this is exactly the kind of plank that in 1960s the Shiv Sena came up with. That
absolutely
Mumbai
not.
With Maharashtra,
I'll tell you what. Because Mumbai was won over by fighting for Mumbai. 105 martyrs and many more beyond that across Maharashtra fought for Mumbai. And today you see the BJP has the same plan. They want to break Mumbai. They want to crumble. Why would they take the International Financial Services Center to gift otherwise? Why would they shift Vedanta Foxconn to Dholera, where Vedanta said, now we can't work here? Why would the bullet train, which has crumbled yesterday, bridges collapsed yesterday, be made from Gujarat to Maharashtra, where it doesn't even benefit Maharashtra? And they've given our land and BKC free of cost to the bullet train. How does it benefit Maharashtra? Let the CM or two DCMs come here, or three of them come here and make me understand that.
Well, the CM, you've talked about the CM. We see that there have been quite acerbic, bitter barbs against your father in the last few days. The split happened 2.5
No,
years ago.
the current CM is an absolute coward and incapable man. I mean, he ran away to Gujarat. He toppled the government of a man who has given him everything, his first political ticket, his first ministry to everything. How do you even call that humanity? It's inhumane to see the way how he's behaved. You think of the situations I'm looking at. You look at Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, and to see from his perspective of what these 40 thieves have done to him and to his party, for a party that he has sort of helped grow over the past 20 years. 90% of these thieves who ran away were the ones who were given their first political identity and social identity by Mr. Uddhav Thackeray. For a second, think of what Mr. Sharad Pawar said would be thinking. The political party he formed in 1999, a political party he got the symbol for, a political party which governed Maharashtra for 15 years, and all the people who've hopped over were ministers for 15 years, right from the junior ranks to the senior most ranks, because he blessed them to be so, along with the people. How he must be thinking. And this is the BJP, which played dirty politics to topple Madhya Pradesh government in the COVID lockdown 1 and tried to instigate the same here in COVID lockdown 1 through their governor, and successfully did so with the help of ED, CBI later. So I think more than bitterness, it's about thinking whether, and this is the anger about where they're taking my state. That is where I come from. Had they, in the past 2.5 years, doing everything they did to my father or Mr. Pawar, or even toppling our government, taking away our party symbol, or even my own grandfather's pictures, which my father has clicked, all of that, even after doing that.
But that they say
Even
for
if,
Hindutva.
even if they had done that and still brought in one big industry for jobs in the state, I wouldn't have been so bitter about them. Because this is not about me or my father or Pawar sir. This is about our state. This is about so many young girls and boys, men and women my age, roaming around for a job. You have a police constable recruitment drive for 17,000 posts, and you have 17 lakh young people coming into Mumbai for the same. You have Air India calling out for jobs for 600 people, 25,000 people turn up. This is the kind of affair that they've brought Maharashtra to.
You're saying this, and the biggest thing that is being said is we have done this
You
for
you said Hindutva. Even the Hindu
and-
doesn't believe in BJP's Hindutva.
Well, the Hindu only believes in independent journalism, sir.
So do we.
So the whole point here, Aditya, is not only is there a snub, a claim that you have not stuck to your original ideology, but also a warning that someone shouldn't be trifled with. How do you look
I'll
at
tell you
all
what,
this?
the original ideology, of course, is about Bhumiputras, and that is very, very core to our heart. Hindutva, of course, but our Hindutva is different from BJP's Hindutva. What is happening in our state today is BJP-fying of the state. Mob lynching was never a thing in my state in the past whatever years. The character assassination, vilification, villainification, or even the kind of dirty politics that the BJP is indulged in has never been Hindutva in my state and never will be. The inauguration of a temple, half complete only to suit your political needs, is not Hindutva. Ram Temple was inaugurated before even the election, only because they wanted to inaugurate it. It was inaugurated before it was completed. It's not my Hindutva. Burning people over what they eat is not my Hindutva. Trying to take people for task for the colors they wear is not my Hindutva. My religion is not as shallow as what you eat and what color you wear. It's much deeper than that. My faith is much deeper than that. My Hindutva will never tell me to burn someone's house. This is not Hindutva. This is BJP's Hindutva, which is only electoral Hindutva. And if they believe so much in Hindutva, tell me one simple answer. Why did the BJP allow the BCCI to play cricket with Bangladesh, the same Bangladesh they claim in which Hindus are facing atrocities in the past 2.5 months? Had the BJP done, had the Congress done this, or NCP done this, if the BCCI was controlled by Congress or NCP, they would have claimed them to be anti-national. This is not the Hindutva that we see it as. This is BJP's electoral Hindutva, which is fake.
So, Aditya, today, when Rahul Gandhi comes to Mumbai and you're going to hold a big public rally together, what is the alternative that you offer to the people?
There is no alternative. I mean, look, a gang of thieves do not need alternatives. They are the alternative which has been rejected by the people, which is why they did not hold elections for the past 2.5 years. We are providing a vision for the future. We are providing our guarantees for social welfare schemes. We are providing our guarantees so that we can take Maharashtra on a path of economic progress and social harmony.
What
Today,
will those
today,
promises
today,
be?
today, dividing Maharashtra on religious lines or caste lines is not the Hindutva that Maharashtra seeks. It's our Hindutva, which is Hridayat Ramani Hatala Kam.
One last question, since I'm being told by my team that we are really shooting off the time limit. Shiv Sena UBT chief minister for 2024?
I'll tell you what, very, very simply. Every tracker, every survey today, in the past 2.5 years, also, not just today, even after a government was toppled 2.5 years later, has shown that if there's one person Maharashtra trusts, it's Uddhav Thackeray. One person who can take the state ahead, it's Uddhav Thackeray. Having said that, we're not here for a personal fight or personal ambition. We're here as the Maha Vikas Aghadi, providing a very key structure to the government that requires it: stability, political stability, economic stability, and that is our aim. So we do not want a chief minister of the BJP or the gang of thieves that will be run from Gujarat. We want someone who thinks about Maharashtra and works for Maharashtra.
The biggest promise that you will deliver, you will give today.
We will keep Maharashtra away from the looting gang of BJP.
Thank you so much, Aaditya Thackeray. Thank you for your precious time and thank you for all your candid answers. It's always a pleasure to interact with you.